Hello guys, back here with another video, and today I'm here to talk about the absolute, the importance of safety stops. And we all see safety stops. Most of us, we'll ignore them. We'll think, oh, we'll be fine. We don't need them. Well, I realised how important they are. This video was on my Instagram, and it all stems from that. When the 300 kilo bench press attempt went awry. It's also on TikTok, it's on my YouTube shorts, but most people will have seen it through my Instagram. And we saw how it just fell out of my arm and landed on my chest. Luckily, I am alright, the spotters were alright. But the bar shot out that fast they couldn't catch it, so it landed on my chest. So if we sort of like practice, just imagine that those safety stops weren't there, it would have, as a bare minimum, broken bones. With the way that the speed spotters reacted, I probably would have died. So safety stops are important, guys. That's what this video is all about. They're important for all lifts. Squats, if you go wrong, it's it's not needed. But if your safety stops there, it'll stop equipment from getting damaged. It's a lot easier to dump onto some safety stops than it is onto the floor. Deadlift, there's obviously no safety stops, but there's many other exercises as well that you can use safety stops for, like not just the big three. Any sort of press movement, you can put some safety stops on some military presses. So if that goes wrong, you hurt yourself. If your arm, I don't know, if you're pressing overhead and let's say your arm breaks, that weight's not going to come down and crash on your head. It's going to come down and it's going to land on one of those stops, which we always wanted to land on those stops whenever we can, save ourselves, above anything else. That's what we need to do. We need to keep ourselves safe. We need to lift another day. But safety stops, let's talk about them in a bit more detail. How do you set safety stops? Typically, they are like in pin increments. So like you can have them out on pin 1, pin 2, 3, 4, however many. And you want to set them, let's use the bench press for an example. You want to set them so that when you are arched, when you are fully braced up, the bar will not hit the stop before it hits your chest. It will land on your chest when you're bringing it down. However, if you were to fail the rep, like if you're training on your own, I know about this because I tend to train a lot on my own in my garage. So with a bench press, I use it a lot because I like to train to failure on the bench. I'll set it so the bar will land on my chest. I'll press it. If I fail the rep, I'll lower it down. And because you should be arched nice, your chest should be a lot higher than around your neck region. So you can like place the bar there. And I like to set my safety stops so if I tilt my face, if the bar was to land on my face, the stop will save it. However, typically just with my arch not being great, I do have to tilt my head. If you've got a very good arch, you could have your head normal and the stops should save it. But me, I know if I tilt my head, I will not get hurt, and if I don't tilt my head, I will just get a bruised chin. I'll just get a nice little bruise on my chin. So nothing catastrophic. Whereas if I don't set them, I will end up being, in a bad way. If you set them too low, they are kind of redundant. For squats, it's a bit hard to set them too low. But for bench, if you set them too low, they're not really going to do out. But if you set them too high, obviously, we kind of know what's going to happen there. You're going to be using it, and we're bringing your bar down on your bench. It's going to hit the stop first and just throw your lines. It happens a lot on squats where it not happens a lot, but it's a lot easier for the mistake to happen on squat with, you come down, you'll go a bit deep, you'll hit the stop, and then things will go to pot. Whereas if you're setting them too low, it'll go bad. If you set them too high, it'll go bad. You need to find that sweet spot. Like I'm always training on the rack in my garage, so I know if I'm benching, I want the safety stop on 2, and I want the rack height on 6 for lift outs. And if I'm squatting, I want the safety stops on 2 as well, and I want the heights on 9. Whereas if you're training and you're going to other gyms, if you travel around gyms a lot, you'll have to test out each session. But if you're always in the same gym, using the same equipment, the same principle applies. You will just know what pegs you are for stops. and racks. It's on it, Same with competitions as well. I really do think competitions should enforce the use of safety stops on bench, just because it saves your life. And I think on the monoliths, the chains should be being used for safety. I know they were using at the Irish Pro. It's safety first. Above anything else, we need to make sure we as lifters are safe, and as well the spotters and loaders. It keeps them safe, because if your spotting is squat, and we're jumping at extremes here, but if someone's knee just snaps, you don't want to be caught under that weight, because if you're spotting that right, you'll just get pinned under that weight. Whereas if the chains are there, the weight will just land on the chain, and you as a spotter will be perfectly fine. Same with the bench. Well, kind of same principle. If someone like what happened with me, where the equipment just took control. It's nice to know that if the spotter misses the weight, or if the weight, if I can't assist you with it, and you can't lift that weight anymore as a spotter, it's good to know that safety mechanism is in place. But that does about wrap up to this week's video. It is just a massive, just information dump about safety stops. I think that they are absolutely crucial. They need to be being used. Otherwise, they keep you safe. They need to be being used. But like I said, that does it for this week. Next week we are going to be having a look at how to spot correctly. Just so people know then. Sort of a mini follow-up on this. We've talked about the importance of the stops. I'm going to teach you how to spot correctly. But until next week, thank you for watching, and keep lifting that big weight.